So today I got for you an FVP Verified Proven. Now this oil filter, it says on the top here, made in the USA. It was made in 2023, so this is a relatively new filter. R1372 I see here. Let's see, premium oil filter, but I believe I did an FVP before, and it was their high mileage oil filter. Nothing too significant on the box. It manufactured by kind of like that. Sorry, I was interrupted there. But yeah, made in the USA. Looks like a pretty sturdy filter. It's got, that feels plastic. It's got some sort of green plastic. Doesn't feel very flexible in there. How is the, well, okay, that just came right off. that would probably get stuck on your vehicle. That's probably not a good thing. Let me move the camera here a little. There we go. That's better for me. It's not very heavy. Like, I can tell, I bet the base plate, well, I don't know. Let us get it apart, and then we'll see about that base plate. So yeah, like I said, I believe I did a, what was it, an FVP. It was black, I believe, and it was an extra mileage one. This one is just their starter kind of a filter, I believe. So I'm hoping it's okay. It should be okay. Let's see how thick this base plate is here. Not base plate, the sides, the case. I got a feeling it's not that thick. I tightened it too much. Maybe it's tighter than I thought it would be, because it didn't feel very heavy. So I was thinking it didn't have a lot of heavy metal in it for the case. But hey, who knows? Well, it's starting to be... she's cracking now. There we go. Cracking away. Beautiful day outside today, by the way. It's insanely hot, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, back again. Let's get this filter out of the cutter, and I'll let us take the top off. I must say, I do like doing new filters. Actually, this base plate now is actually quite heavy. It just didn't feel heavy when everything's together. It's pretty heavy. It's got 4 threads. I love the big holes. The big holes are nice. Allows through lots of oil. And let's see here. I just didn't like how the seal sat inside the surface here. It just didn't... It felt like it came out just way too easy. But let's see. Nah, it just pulls right out. So this would be a good one to always check to make sure if the seal stays on the engine. Because believe me, I've seen that before on some things I've done. I've bought cars and changed their filters, and lo and behold, it had 2 seals. One over the other. Crazy. But yeah, that's actually pretty hefty. That's not too bad. Alright, let us take a look at this. This does have a bypass. This is actually a bypass plus the anti-drain back. Now, the middle part is a lot more solid than right here. This is... I would say this is probably some sort of silicone, but I'm betting around the inside and here it's got some sort of a plastic ring or something that's holding it all together. But this works fine. These work great, and yeah, they're actually very good as what do we call it? The bypass valves. They work great. Oh, let's take a look. Now that is some very dark and probably very thin, it looks like, filter medium. And let's see, everything is pretty uniform for the filter in here, except where we have the strip here. Strip is not held with any type of metal or anything, so hopefully that wouldn't come apart, even though it is coming apart in my fingers. So yeah, that thing just kind of just pulls apart. That's probably not a good thing, but we'll check it after I get it all cut apart. Very nice metal ends. These are excellent metal ends. These are some of the best ones I've actually seen. And this filter looks deep. Like it's very deep in here, so you get lots of filtration surface. And then look at this, a real spring. That's always another one good reason to buy a filter with a real spring in it. Not only, it's not the only reason, but that is a good reason. So I'm going to cut the filter medium off and take a look at that. It looks like it is impregnated with some sort of something to help with the filtering. I'll cut it apart and take a look at it. So I did cut the filter medium, and it really cut really too good. It was like, hey, this is going to be some pretty thin stuff, I'm thinking. Let's not deal with that for a second here. The tube, your standard tube with the very nice holes in them. The glue looks like it's very well done. There's a lot of glue, but it looks like it's traveled all the way around, all the way on both sides to actually cover all of the filter medium that's put together. And this thing is put together, so it's well built. I kind of think it's one of the better built inside filter cases. That's not too bad. But what about this filter medium? Here is where the two attach. That wasn't, they just used the same glue for attaching the two sides together. And by the way, this has got to be some of the lightest filter medium I think I have ever held. This is like nothing. This weighs nothing. Hey, that's what I should do. Incorporate a scale into this somehow to weigh filters. I'm going to have to do that. We'll see how I can figure that out. But this filter medium, it is impregnated with multi-layers. Super thin. Super thin. And probably filters fine, I would think. But it doesn't say anywhere on here about how much it filters or what size it filters. So this is your basic cheap filtration material. Like it's not that imagine if this was used and I was doing this thing might just come apart so easily. It comes apart even easier than this when they've had oil in them. But yeah, this is pretty thin and pretty light for this obviously is built for like 3,000 mile oil changes or 5,000 kilometer oil changes. This is definitely not to be used over anything than those type of oil changes. But as again, filters, they all have some good features, and then a lot of them cheap out on some other things that they should have. Like, let's check the case. Case, pretty thin, but not as thin as some I've held. But thin enough. This could be just because this is a big case and that's why it flexes so much. But it's not terrible. It's not a terrible case. This is well built. The cage for the filtration, it's well built. This is probably one of the better looking cages. And the filtration, it was deep. It has really good coverage of how much you can filter through a filter. And the spring, excellent spring. Gotta say, this is excellent. I'm gonna say this base plate was actually more excellent than I thought it would be. Not the seal as much, but just check. You know, you gotta check. Check all the time anyways when you do an oil filter or oil change. So overall, for a standard filter that I'd use in my vehicles, yeah, I would just use this up to my usual 5,000 kilometers, change it out kind of like thing. And it would probably work just fine. This would probably be a fine filter. This is obviously for all the filtration in here, this weighs absolutely nothing. This is one of the thinnest papers, and it's probably impregnated with something or soaked in something, or I don't see that I think it's just layered paper, and that's it. That's all it has. So I hope this review helps you out, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll continue bringing you these filter reviews. Thanks for watching.